Hey folks, Green Stuff Gav here. This week we're back with another unboxing, but something a little bit different. Now I trade armies quite regularly. Obviously I paint an army up, trade it on for the next army. And this is an army I traded for recently off the Facebooks. So I've seen some photos of what I'm receiving here, but yeah, we haven't actually wasn't able to get a decent look. So I'm going to be quite interested to see. Okay, we've got some sprues of weapons, scout weapons, tank bits. As part, because it was for the deal, I did ask for any spare bits because yeah, there's some work's going to be needed. So some heresy bits, more heresy bits, Emperor's Children by the looks of it, and more importantly, here we go. So, metal Space Marine Scout. There is a load of them in here. We're missing a hand, but that's quite a nice solid paint scheme, to be honest. Dark. So, we're all just, yeah, that's fine. So, we're just going to get these out. These are cool. So, everyone's been painting, obviously, Old Hammer yeah, the 90s Space Marine, which that is the Sergeant of. That's the next one up. That's the sort of second edition multi-part plastic, where you had head, torso as one piece, legs as one piece, the two arms. The old school bolter. That shine worries me, but yeah. So these guys are going to go into the paint stripper, but normally I had a chainsword, but you see we've had slight conversion there. But that'd be easy, you just cut that back a bit more. Get that nice. I can knock the camera sideways. Like proper knock it sideways. I don't know why I'm so all over the place. More Space Marine Scouts. These are Jez Goodwin's ones. I do believe we had the plastic monopose ones, then these guys, I think. I have to look it up. But again, nice solid paint scheme, to be honest. I really like the bolt pistols. We've got like these great big suppressors on. Again, all the kit. Flash tab. Everyone left that flash tab on. That's a slightly more modern multi-part Marine. Torsos come in 2 bits, the heads come separate. Really interesting interview with Jez Goodwin when these released about how he designed them. An Ace stock sergeant. Oh, no, not quite. He's got a power sword. Off the second edition weapon sprue. Gorgeous. I really love the style of this one. I don't know why. I really like that sword. I do believe he's cut away the chainsword, cut away the sword handle. More Scouts with a Geordie LaForge visor. Scout with heavy bolter. Look at that. I do believe up to this point is all the heavy bolters were shoulder mounted. So that's one of the first ones that were carried. I think the Devastators just came out before that one though. That there is a Dark Angels veteran in metal. Painted a whole army of these as relictors. But to be fair, you can barely tell that's a sword. A bit of paint and that'll look like Blood Angels. Which, as you can see, the previous hobbyist was doing. Cool. Tank bits. We don't care. Oh, there's a last one past it. Old school Tycho, or Blood Angels captain back in the day. Can't quite see it because of the paint, but there's some really nice detail here, like to the on the gauntlet, the knee pads, very sort of sculpted, and Sanguinius's death mask. That's cool. Plastic backpack. on metal model. So this was a Blood Angel captain, then become Tycho in a battle report. Then they made the Tycho model. Another old school 2nd edition multi-part. See the style of bolt gun. Again, solid paint job. Yeah, there's the missile launcher off the heavy weapons dude. That came as part of the kit, the tactical squad kit. You come with a missile launcher. More scats. Nothing to say here that hasn't been said. Aha, Death Company Chaplain. Mrs. Crozius, but its banner pole's been snapped. That skull face, the really nice sort of ribbing, the edging to the armour. He came in a kit of Death Company, which, funny enough, is here. Basically, it just looks like standard armour with a couple of extra honour marks on, painted black. Ironically, so these guys were actually heavily ornate, as opposed to your average like Blood Angel Space Marine wasn't covered in all the blood drops and stuff, but the Death Company were. Again, metal guy, plastic arms, plastic backpack. That is the Emperor's Champion. Again, there's slight touches to the armour for the Emperor's Champion, so his armour is slightly smoother lines, and you know, you've got these ornate boots and the gauntlets. Back 4, Space Marines were covered in bling. That said, Mephiston, while you know he's got a fantastic plastic model now, it still has got like real, like look at all this detail, the ribbon detail. Yeah, really cool. Again, classic sort of middle hammer miniature. Have a Death Company. This is an issue we've seen a lot. Is when assembling, you're supposed to cut the brace off, and it sits in their hands. But a lot of people didn't, especially new gamers, because the arm's separate to the pad. We're probably not used to it these days, where everything is just monopose, goes together one way. Is these like the body was one piece, and then the arms you could mix them up, get whichever pose you liked on them. So you could have them holding a bolt gun, you could have them holding 2 pistols, or a pistol and a combat weapon. Like this guy. I'm trying to remember how many came in the box. Another plastic Marine missile launcher. Quite cool. Again, that's fairly similar to the kit that's actually about today. This might give you a hint as to what else is in here. Ah, there he is. Speak of the devil. This is a metal dreadnought. I know box noughts now don't exist. But these were chunky old boys. See all the multi-parts. So you had the feet, the legs, the hips, back of the torso, back of the sarcophagus, the front, and the weapons arms. Now, ironically, this is a Ultramarine, or the generic Space Marine Dreadnought, tell by the front panel. Obviously, the idea being you could paint them up as whichever chapter you wished. Really cool. It's in smoke launchers and a banner pole. Banner poles never survived because they were so thin and flimsy they'd snap for a past time. Unfortunately. What we got? We have got some tanks. Now this was an interesting one. Is I knew this one was coming and it's in a bit of a state. It's a Lehman Russ that needs some TLC. This will be going into my Necromunda Escher army. So I'm not massively concerned about it being in bits, because it's going to be paint stripped and rebuilt. Yeah, cool. Yeah, that'll be going into my Necromunda Escher army with some TLC. Put that aside. Back to the Space Marines though. We have got, in terrible disrepair, old school Rhino. It's going to need a lot of work. I'm not entirely sure that's recoverable, but I will give it a go. As we mentioned on the 3rd edition unboxing, is a common thing you could see with the old school Rhinos is where this has been misassembled. This should be in line there, and these hooks should overhang, but a lot of people just glued them there, so you ended up with this unsightly gap. And then ironically they've cut that bit off, so I'm going to have to cut down there, try and separate the shells just to reassemble it properly. But it looks like glue's been run all the way along the side there as well. That'll be interesting. Might be recoverable, might not. If not, it becomes terrain. Another Scout Sergeant, this time with his hand. And this is... that goes down there. That's randomly part of a Whirlwind. The like. I think that's an actual legit modern kit. But this is cool. This looks like a normal Rhino, which, funny enough, has been assembled correctly, but I don't know what all this is about. All this, I don't know if you can see that. There's curves to it. Not entirely sure what that's about, but more importantly, it's a Baal Predator. The first instance of the Baal, which is a Blood Angels exclusive. Had the twin assault cannon, the twin two heavy flamers. But you got the plastic Rhino kit with all the metal turrets and stuff that goes on top. All the way around. The idea being, of course, they could use just the Rhino chassis and then just do add-on turrets and things like that to turn it into Predators, to turn it into Whirlwinds. So there's even articles in White Dwarf on how to convert your own. Oh, that's off the rust. But yeah, the metal sponsoons. That's off the rust. Yeah, all in all, not a great trade, I must admit. It's going to be a lot of work, and for the amount of stuff I traded for it, I'm not entirely... I knew it was going to be a pretty... not great. That's a hand, that's the Scout Sergeant hand. I knew it was a... value-wise is, yeah, I got pretty stitched. But I think I should be able to recover a small 2nd edition army out of this. I'm hoping. Let's line some guys out and see what we've got. So we've got Predator. I'm not going to line the Rhino out because I'm not entirely convinced that's recoverable. Dude. You see Death Company guys, put Death Company there. 2 characters, 3 characters, isn't there? Five scouts with a Sarge. 1, 2, 5 scouts with a heavy. And some Death Company guys. Thankfully, I've got some more Blood Angels guys in the bits box, so I can hopefully bulk some of that out. Yeah, that's not a massively good trade, I must admit, but it'd be interesting to see. So I'll probably do another video on prepping this lot for paint stripping, another one on the paint stripping, and we'll see. But as always, thanks for watching and have fun.